This episode of Nerds to Men, we discuss the brutal deaths on the season premiere of The Walking Dead. Did they go too far? The Penguin wants to take the bromance with Riddler to the next level. X-23 officially announced for Logan. Deadpool loses its director. Westworld fan theories, and an interview with Richard Kind, who most recently starred as the ousted mayor on Gotham. All this and more on Nerds to Men.
Welcome to this episode of Nerds to Men. I'm Brad Reed. I'm surrounded by Cameo.
Yes.
Cameo, let's introduce you to, in case maybe this is the first time somebody's tuned in. Mm-hmm. You have a night show on which station?
Wild 104.9, baby.
I just can't say it anymore because I've gone on to work at a different radio station.
Oh,
so
snap.
I can no longer set up Cameo's endeavors.
But yes, you can catch me every weekday, 6 to midnight, Monday through Friday.
Now, how do people tune in if they're listening outside of Oklahoma City?
If you're listening outside of Oklahoma City, well, guess what? We're online, wild1049hd.com, or you can download the Wild 1049 app from the App Store.
And I just want to mention that I'm on Classic Rock 104.5 KRXO on the weekends. So you can hear me on the overnights. And Cameo is giving me the stink eye over there. Golly, I can't talk about my radio station.
We're going to have to separate you two.
Yeah, but you can hear me on the overnights. You can hear me Saturday night, 7 p.m. to midnight. If you are listening elsewhere, we do have the 104.5 app.
You can tape it.
Yeah, you can listen anywhere in the world. I just want to throw that out there. Quit giving me that stink eye, Cameo. I brought you into this broadcasting world.
No.
I am your broadcasting godfather. I'm like your broadcasting big bro. You're a punk, man.
I'm just giving you a hard time, man. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I love it. Gog?
Hello.
Gog, this is a musical episode for Gog,
Hello, everybody that's listening.
Gog, you got several comedic endeavors. Do you wish to talk about any of those?
Not really.
Okay. I'm looking at...
Yeah, you can watch YouTube videos.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
You got a channel, right?
Yes. Wooden
Time?
Elbow. You can
Wooden Elbow.
also have Gogger Time that has silly content. There's some stuff that you and I have made in the past.
I know. One of them, though, doesn't have a soundtrack anymore.
I know. It broke. It got broke.
We had a great video called, what was it?
Homemade energy
drinks.
And where we did a cooking show-esque kind of thing in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Making our own homemade energy drink with disgusting ingredients. And then we drink it. Mm-hmm. And then things get psychedelic.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then, but during our freak out scene, I used a song from Meshuggah.
Yeah. And
I guess YouTube
didn't like that.
So they took the audio off of it.
The entire thing, not just that song.
And I was going to just get the video off, recut like whatever song, because it would have been ezy to recut with just an indie band or something else.
One of my songs.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't have the original version anywhere. I don't think you do either, do you?
It's gone forever.
Yeah, so
no.
Maybe we could go in like.
We could do ADR over all of the talking parts.
Yeah, maybe we could do that.
I mean, we could. It would, take an afternoon.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be terribly difficult to do.
Maybe we should do that. So
I wouldn't be against it.
I wouldn't either. So look for that to come. But
and Nerds to Men skits. Is it too soon to start talking about any of that stuff?
No, we got a bunch of those on deck, basically.
Yeah.
So we got a good one coming for you real soon.
Some funny stuff for you on the YouTube.
Yeah, we've got that on YouTube. So look for Nerds to Men on there. Gog, I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
You got some, is that eyeliner?
Huh?
Are you wearing eyeliner?
Excuse me? Yes, I am, as a matter of fact.
Do you have a gig tonight? Or you?
Yeah.
Are you
I've reverted to my old days of rock and roll.
Yeah.
No. Last night, just kind of on a whim, my lady and I decided to do face paint. She wanted to do some dressing up, and...
Now, was that, did you go out? Did you have like a party to go to?
No.
Y'all just,
we went
that's
to
how y'all roll at home?
for like one drink and then came back to the house, and then we hung out. And
I think we're kind of getting into the late night plans now.
Oh, wow.
But were you going for a Joker theme?
Yes.
Okay.
She painted me up like the Joker. She did a tremendous job. We'll put some pictures on the internet Facebook.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be real cool. So check out those pictures. Yeah.
Because I've always wanted to do a good Joker, and I think she did a really good job with the makeup. So it's encouraged me to probably spend more money than I need to on more accessories.
Did you go to work today?
No.
Oh. I was like, maybe
the movie
maybe you were
Rockstar.
serving barbecue with eyeliner.
Yeah, like Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, might as well pump up where you work since we're bringing it up.
Iron Star Urban Barbecue. It's a fine dining experience.
It is, though. In Oklahoma City, they're well known for their mac and cheese.
Fancy mac and cheese.
Yes.
In fact, I'm kind of mad right now that you should bring us tubs of mac and cheese.
Yeah, like craft services.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I show up for the next show and there's no mac and cheese,
Okay.
I'm probably going to quit.
All right. Fair enough. I mean, that wouldn't be the worst thing that could happen, but
Oh, now there won't be mac and cheese just to get rid of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
we'll get a new Brad. Get Earth 19 Brad.
Well,
He wears a fedora.
Yes.
yeah. Or you could get Earth, 30 hipster Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's obviously talking about The Flash, which was been pretty good the last few weeks.
Yeah,
I
like
really enjoyed The Flash. Tell us, I think when is the Kevin Smith directed episode?
Oh, it's episode 7, and I believe then episode 8 is supposed to be a big crossover episode.
Oh, okay. And he also did
six. It
an
might have been
episode of Supergirl.
Oh,
Yeah.
we did?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that one.
So I'm not seeing which episode that actually is. I am seeing now on his Facebook page, yesterday he said just wrapped day 1 on the episode of Supergirl that I'm directing. Now I get to kick back and catch up on the news, and he's got like a daily plan. But how cool for him to be directing Supergirl when we all know he was attached to a Superman movie at one time.
Right, right.
So, I mean, this kind of, is it redemption?
Yeah.
In the episode, I wonder, is Superman going to make an appearance in this
This is
episode?
going to be Nicolas Cage, Superman, with long
Be
hair.
awesome. Yeah, I think he's going to be working with Superman. I don't know if it'll be for that episode or if it will be for a different one.
Right. So how's the season going? Because I'm behind a few episodes.
Dude, I am digging it. And I think what they're doing now is trying to, make it more superhero-y,
Right.
if that's a word.
It's not, but I get what you mean. Yeah.
But because they're adding, they just added a new character. Should I give spoilers? No spoilers?
Yeah. I mean, hey,
all right with it.
this whole show is going to be spoilers if you look at the rundown.
Spoilers.
So.
Okay. Well,
Spoilers.
guess what? Miss Martian is in town now.
I did hear that. I was excited to hear that.
I'm so excited. I loved her in Young Justice. I love her in that, but obviously she's not going to be that character in that show because she's older acting in this one than she was in the Young Justice cartoon show.
So an old face from the DC TV franchises back in the day has I guess if she might not want to hear me say old.
Well,
But, I grew up watching Wonder Woman
Oh, yes.
on TV.
Oh, yes. Linda Carter.
I love how they bring back these people that have worked in the DC, like on DC shows before.
Did you catch whenever Supergirl was talking about, I love that I got to see Air Force One, and she says, wait till you see my other jet.
Oh, yeah.
Did you catch that?
Like I said, I haven't seen. I'm behind a few episodes. Gog, are you current?
No.
Are you even watching it?
Nah.
I've seen. Yeah.
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Doesn't even try to hide it.
That's one that it's going to be a little bit hard.
Well, yeah, and I'm right now. I'm powering through season 1 of Legends of Tomorrow. So,
See,
Supergirl, I think will probably be next in line.
now that we're kind of off of our rundown, but this is great because I want to talk about Legends of Tomorrow. It's on tonight. We're taping this on a Thursday. But the last few episodes I've really enjoyed.
Yes.
And then I heard on a different podcast that they were talking about how this season was actually going to be a soft reboot. So by this time, I don't want to ruin this one for you, Gog, yet, because I really want you to get into Legends of Tomorrow. I think you'll like it. But just in the first 2 episodes, some of the things I wasn't really impressed with from season 1, all gone. They got rid of it. So it was a soft reboot in a way, and I think it's going in a direction that I'm liking where it's going. I'm excited for that show.
I'm ready to get through this season. I like the show. There's a lot of elements of it that I enjoy. I think some of the acting is subpar.
Yes, definitely.
They tried to get an ensemble cast of people, and maybe it's because they were supporting roles in these other shows, and then they just tried to put them into these leading roles, and sometimes certain actors will be better in a supporting role than they are, in the spotlight.
Yeah.
And that might be the case.
I noticed the guy who plays Adam, he's not that great.
Brandon
of an actor.
Ruth.
Yeah. And I was glad that they brought him back. Another guy that they brought back.
If you don't know what we're talking about, Superman Returns.
Yes. Yeah. He was Superman. Wasn't very critically or fan acclaimed, really.
No.
Did any of you see that one?
Yeah, I saw that one.
What did you think about that movie?
What
didn't you like about it, really?
Pretty much everything.
Yeah, it wasn't exciting enough.
No.
So do you much prefer Henry Cavill's Superman now?
Yeah.
Or do you think that they haven't done Superman like you want to see him just yet either? That's how I feel about it.
I mean, I like what we've gotten from him so far. So I mean, I like him so far.
Yeah. Well, it just...
I mean, he hasn't been like a total letdown.
Yeah. I just... The movies, the first one, Man of Steel, I liked it the first time I saw it, but it drags for a little while in parts of it that I don't know.
Was that Zack Snyder? He did that one too?
Yeah.
And that's just kind of his MO, is his movies are lengthier than they need to be.
Right. Some of them I love when he does that, but yeah. That's just kind of my opinion on that. All right. So, we got a bunch of TV shows, all kinds of stuff to talk about. One of them I wanted to mention just real briefly with Arrow. Not like a lot of big news going on with Arrow either, but I really love where they're going with Tobias Church.
Yeah, I like it.
He is making this season really awesome. But there was a couple episodes back, there was a line that I thought was hilarious. They're walking into the lair and Artemis says something to like the effect to Wild Dog, like, I've been meaning to ask, what kind of a superhero wears a hockey mask anyway?
Yeah.
And Stephen Amell says, I don't know, I think it's kind of cool.
Casey Jones.
Yeah, totally. And I was wondering if, like, they had just given this guy a hockey mask to mess with, Steve Amell, because he was Casey Jones over the summer in that in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. But then I was looking, and DC had posted something that said something to the effect of, if you want to catch up or get to know Wild Dog, here's the comic. And so I think I even posted that on our Twitter page. So he is a character from the comics. I just hadn't heard of him before.
Funny that you mentioned that, because I recently downloaded this DC Comics app on my phone, just because I'm starting to get more into the books again. I haven't really read them much since I was a kid, and now a big part of the reason is because of the podcast that we're doing. And it's kind of piqued my interest again. And one of the things you can download for free on there is called DC Comics Essentials, and it's like a 2016 updated guide that, if you're a newbie, it's extremely helpful because it kind of points out some of the bigger storylines and gives you an order to read things in. Because if you go walk into a comic book store and you don't really know anything, you're going to look around.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about like New World Comics is I go in there, I'm like, Buck, point me in the right direction.
He is the encyclopedia of comics.
Yeah. So definitely.
Yeah, check out that app if you're looking to get into reading some books.
Absolutely. That's a great app to use. I know with the show, because I came in, my background was I love the movies. I love the shows. I hadn't read comics, though, in a while.
Yeah.
And so doing prep for the different shows, I've read them over, since we started this, and it sucked me right back in. Like, reading all these different series and all these older, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I buy them to do prep for the show, and Cameo takes them and
doesn't give them back.
So
what? The anticipation, though.
Yeah. Glenn dies.
Well, speaking of, we might as well get into that. If you were following our Facebook page this week, me and Cameo, I think we're trying to best each other on Walking Dead memes. So many great ones that came out this week following the season premiere of The Walking Dead, which this episode was like so epic, it seemed like. It almost felt like season premiere, season ending, all in one.
Right? Yeah.
Because watching The Talking Dead after, they kept saying, this is just the beginning of this season. And you're like, wow.
Right.
What did you think about the episode? Were you impressed? Were you shocked? Was it everything you wanted? Was it nothing that you wanted?
It was what I expected, because I've read the graphic novels and I was expecting the deaths that happen.
Right.
And
Glenn dies.
well, if you've been following our Facebook page, yes, you know who dies. Yeah, like I was expecting it. Like I was still shocked.
Yeah.
Because reading it and seeing it is two totally different things.
Right.
And seeing it on black and white and just like pictures.
Right.
Seeing it in like real humans like acting out this. Yeah, it is just acting and just acting it out, and it's so believable.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh my Lord.
Yeah. I thought it was shocking. Gog, I know you don't really watch The Walking Dead. Did you get to check out that episode?
No, I've heard about it, though.
Yeah. See, a lot of people that don't normally watch it, I think tuned in to watch it just to hear what all the hype was. And then they got two guys getting just their heads bashed in. Yeah. And the way they did it was so brutal on camera. Actually, we've heard... yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like nothing that you'll enjoy to see, but if you're a fan of the show, you got to see it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I like gory stuff like that, though.
No, it is gory. I thought it was cool.
The Evil Dead remake, gory. That movie was really gory.
This was one of the goriest things I've seen. In that it looked pretty like realistic as to what you would look like if somebody was braining you with a bat.
Right.
But I did hear that there's a group that said that they've gone too far with the, they took advantage of their rating or whatever.
Yeah, the Parents Television Council. And they thought it was too gory, too crazy. My whole deal is you go into an apocalyptic world that's zombified. So what do you expect? And you have all these people that have no morals anymore because it's every man for himself.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
I mean, yeah.
What do you expect?
I expected it to be pretty bad. I mean, and they were saying since the end of last season, this was the hardest thing to film, really hard to watch them film it. So I knew it was going to be bad. Right. I wasn't sure who it was going to be. And then it turned out that most people who had guessed who it would be were most likely right. You know, we've already said we're going to do spoilers. Here's the thing. I want to talk about spoilers real quick. I saw somebody that was like, dude, spoilers, some of us Netflix people haven't got to... I was like, Netflix? That won't come out until the season premiere of next season.
Yeah. Right.
If you're really expecting people to hold on to that for that long, you're delusional.
Just stay off of social media.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go into a cave and watch your Netflix shows.
I kind of gave, like, on my own Facebook page, I would keep it a little bit vague for a couple of days. And then after that, I figured, if you're a true fan, you've seen it by now.
Right.
Now, when it comes to movies, you know, maybe because people have to go pay to see that. They have to, you know, get out of their house. Yeah. But when it comes to TV shows, I'm not giving you too long.
Right.
I'm not giving you too long, and then I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah. like if it's a movie that we've seen, we'll say, we won't say anything about it at least a week.
Yeah, usually, Or with what we do on the podcast, it's people can listen whenever they want, so it's a little easier here.
Right. And we'll tell you if there's spoilers.
Yeah. But you can pretty much assume
for when Gog just said Glenn's dead.
Yeah. Yes. But I think you have to pretty much assume that when you're listening to a show that talks about these things, there's going to be spoilers, or else what are you talking about?
Yeah, then we could just be like, oh, and then that one guy did the thing. Remember when he did the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that was crazy.
And his eye freaking popped out. Oh, my gosh. Dude.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Huge.
But back to the parent-teacher conference.
The Parents Television Council.
Yeah. I mean,
shush it on up.
It's rated mature.
Yeah. And, okay, if you're a parent, why are you letting your kids watch this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I watched gory stuff growing up.
That's what's
I'm
wrong
just
with
saying,
you.
I did.
But I'm just saying, if you have an issue with whatever's on television,
Then don't let your kids watch it.
Don't let them watch it.
Yeah.
Precisely.
I agree. And I do think that probably the amount of people who tuned in not having any idea, it was probably still a small amount. Most people knew what they were getting into. They probably didn't know how shocking it would be. But I also think with it being the case that most people knew it was going to be Glenn and Abraham, they had to shock you somehow.
Yeah.
And so they made it incredibly realistic.
Man, that was nuts. And I'm telling you, whenever Rick, well, actually, it was Negan talking to Rick, and Rick is losing it. Did you see that snot bubble?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, dude, that snot bubble had me cracking up.
Now, I think you won the battle when you tagged me in the Rick and Negan with porn music video. Gog, did you get to see this?
No.
I gotta tag
Should
you
we
in
watch this real
I think
quick?
we have to pause it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Or well, maybe we don't pause it. Maybe just kind of hold it up to the microphone. Everybody go to...
It's on Facebook?
Yeah.
All right.
Did you put it on our Facebook page?
No, I didn't.
You
I
need to. Tag it on there.
Okay.
And then Gog's going to look at it. And people can go to our Facebook page and look at it. It'll be up there by the time. Because this is time travel.
Time travel like the Flash.
But it'll be up there. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This thing is nuts.
Oh my God.
Speaking of suck my nut, which is Abraham's last words.
Oh man, that was so awesome.
He went out like a champ.
He did.
Yeah.
Abraham.
Both of them really did.
Well, I mean,
Glenn was a little tiny man.
Glenn kind of didn't.
His eyeball is popping out of his head.
So what
and he's
superhero
telling
show?
Maggie, "Oh, goodness."
What superhero show is he going to show up on now?
Yeah, you know he's going to.
Supposedly, Nightwing.
Yeah, but where? On TV? On HBO? In the
Supposedly,
movies?
I heard HBO,
Right?
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I wouldn't mind it.
but I mean, I
Then
don't
I'd
know.
have to get the HBO Go.
Because I'm going to miss him being on the show for sure.
Okay,
All right. Did you pull it up?
I have it.
Okay.
You want me to do it?
So hopefully those at home have. If not, pause it and then restart it because we're going to watch it really quick.
Here we go.
Yeah. Turn it so God can see it. The way they're looking at each other with this music.
You're taking some notes from Gotham, it looks like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll have to get into that here in a little bit.
My right hand man. You have one?
That's too much.
That was awesome.
I love it.
yes.
Everything's different. Like, you know, I think I maybe have mentioned this on this show before or somewhere else, but like I've watched old versions of Halloween where I've watched the commentary and all that with the DVD, and they'll show how they did the scenes and they showed it to the audience without music, and the audience was like, "Oh, that's kind of scary," and then they put in the dun-dun-dun-dun, you know, the music in, and then all of a sudden they're like, "This is terrifying."
Causes anxiety.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Mrs. Doubtfire?
Oh no.
Oh my Lord! So they made it to like where Mrs. Doubtfire wasn't a comedy; it was a horror film. I'll post it on our page,
Yeah,
but
okay.
it is
Sounds good, too.
hilarious. It is
That's-
hilarious.
That was awesome though.
I saw a video of some kids like at a hardcore show slam dancing where they have like swinging their arms around, but they put it to "Hey Ya" by Outkast.
Yeah.
Those videos
good.
are so funny.
Yep. It's amazing what you can do just by altering the sound,
Right.
just the audio.
I want to move on to a little bit of Marvel news. Back in April, people started saying, including you, that X-23 was going to be in Logan. It was officially announced this past week that X-23 will be in Logan. So it's official now. Are you happy?
I already knew. I wasn't even fazed by this.
When you saw the trailer, were you thinking that has to be X-23?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, who else could it be?
I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
Xavier's like, "She's like you."
here's the thing. Is
That didn't sound like him at all.
yeah.
She's like you.
There's
More
a-
like Michael Caine.
There's a lot of things that we say that would make great ideas or whatever,
Yep.
you know,
Willem
and then
Dafoe Joker.
Exactly. And
The world wants it. The world needs it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of had that in my head. That seems like it, but maybe they'll let us down. And it won't be X-23. It won't be Old Man Logan. Of course, when they called it Logan, you knew it had to be Old Man Logan. So
Yeah,
that
and
was
obviously
pretty
they
sweet.
can't, take from the comic book just because of the whole Marvel, Disney, and Marvel Fox.
Yeah, the
So
licensing.
stupid.
Now,
So
why is
stupid.
she called X-23? Is it because she's sponsored by Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does she have of the.
She's the greatest.
They should make
of
some
all time.
X-23 Jordans.
Dude,
yeah,
they should.
No, it's really because there was 22 before her, right?
Right.
Where they were trying
right.
to
That's
clone.
why Wolverine was Weapon X. He was the 10th. So.
Oh.
And then in Wolverine Origins, that one, Deadpool was like 11.
Yeah.
He was the 11th one.
That's cool. That's really cool. Logan comes out March 3rd. Super excited about that.
Yep.
We actually have some news regarding Deadpool, though. Deadpool has lost its director.
That is true.
Which, what do you guys think about this? Deadpool, that doesn't concern me as much, but it does make me think that the movie's going to get pushed back, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's going to suck. And I hate that the fact that Tim Miller is gone. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, I know it was him and Ryan Reynolds working together on the first one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't like it. Like Tim Miller's gone.
Well, and with it being his first directorial debut, like that was very much his style. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So assuming that whoever they get to replace him is just going to kind of try to mimic that to keep it consistent, and sometimes that can end poorly, which hopefully it doesn't in this case.
Yeah, I heard that there's a petition going around that they're trying to get Quentin Tarantino.
Oh wow, that would be insane.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
I could see that working very nicely.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah,
like you said, if they just try to mimic, that doesn't ever work out that great.
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool fans may be a little bummed right now.
Maybe.
Are you? Are you bummed?
I'm kind of bummed. I want things to run smoothly, and it seems like whenever there's something good, like with X-Men, the first trilogy of X-Men, everything was fine up until The Last Stand. I liked it. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people liked it though.
Right.
And it seems like because Bryan Singer left on that one, right?
I believe he did. Yes.
So,
or did he come back? No, he came back for First Class, right?
Yeah. So he left after the second X-Men movie, and X-Men 3 was
what you're saying.
So it's just
I see what you're saying.
Like, don't do that.
Yeah. Don't mess with the formula.
Right, exactly. And I know it sucks that they couldn't, like Tim Miller and Ryan Reynolds, I
wonder what the creative differences were.
I do too. I don't know what it would have been. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Maybe Ryan Reynolds was mean.
He was just mean.
He's like, I'm Deadpool. This is my movie.
I mean,
they might have had some sort of like you were saying, creative difference on something, and he was just like really stubborn. Like
maybe he treated Tim Miller like he treated his blind roommate.
Yeah,
because I could see that. You know, I'd be like, I'm out.
Yeah, well, I think it also is just like Ryan Reynolds couldn't really leave.
Well, true.
Because I mean,
I think
what else would they get?
That would be disastrous,
Steve
right?
Buscemi.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. Or Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Seth Rogen.
I want to talk about this. I've been watching Westworld. You caught up, Cameo?
Oh, yeah.
So there's been 4 episodes, and I've caught on to a new fan theory that, like, when I heard it, it made a lot of sense, okay? So let me throw it out on you. Actually, this is, Gog, you can sing the song. This is Cameo's Crazy Theories, but I'm going to be doing the theory.
Cameo's Crazy Theories, but this time Brad is doing it.
Yeah, I love that
I like
song.
that.
It was, it's amazing that you wrote that song for the show, and it really captured exactly what's going on.
I'm a wordsmith.
Here's the theory. Of course, because this is J.J. Abrams has his hand in it, producing it and everything, so people...
Is there a lot of lens flares?
No, actually. Thank God.
Right.
But because he did Lost, everybody's looking for all the hidden stuff. So the theory, though, is there's the Man in Black, Ed Harris. He's doing a bunch of, like, not nice stuff, basically, to these hosts, but they're robots, so who cares, right?
Right.
And he's looking for a maze. He knows, he's going for the secret stuff in Westworld. He doesn't want to just hang out and bang prostitutes and do all that. He's got a game in mind, and they introduced another guy, probably episode 2 maybe. He comes in with his brother-in-law. I think it's his brother-in-law. Yeah, and he has to choose the white hat or the black hat. Well, the theory is that that's the Man in Black, Ed Harris. And that what we've got is 2 congruent timelines going on in these shows. Like, I think that it's generally accepted that it's 30 years difference. And so there's little clues that they talk about the fact that the hosts, since they're robots, they don't change age, so you wouldn't know that that's what they're doing. But I guess like there's a gun that Dolores has had, and in one scene it looks a lot older than it did in the other scene, stuff like that. So
okay.
So that's the theory.
Okay, because I see that now, because homeboy, the white hat, is like basically kind of falling for this chick.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the idea is that like in the very first episode, when he drags her to the barn, it doesn't show what he actually did to her. So they're thinking he might not be doing as much bad things as people think. Mm-hmm. He might be actually trying to find the maze so he can get Dolores out of there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the crazy theory going on right now. And then my own crazy cameo theory is that Lost is going on in another Westworld type where people go to like do the old crashed on a desert island.
Because you never know if they really leave.
Well, because in Lost they were all dead.
Yeah, everybody's still there.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert if you haven't watched Lost yet.
And if you're the Netflix crowd, you better have watched it,
right?
Because
that was like one of the shows that I first watched, because I was like, man, what is this talk about the Lost? Like, what is all this about? Because my mom and grandma watched that stuff, and I was like, man, You never watched Lost? Nah, not until I got Netflix.
I really liked Lost until about the last couple of seasons, and then I was like, I felt like they were just trying to end it. They were just trying to figure out, okay, what are we really going to do? Because in the beginning of Lost, people would talk about that they were dead. Mm-hmm. That was the theory. And I think even like J.J. Abrams and them came out and said, no, that's not it. And then it turns out that was it.
Yeah.
I was like,
so
damn it, they figured it out already.
Right. But we're going to add on 3 more seasons.
Yeah. So that's what kind of irritated me. I think the smoke monster, when we found out what it really was, didn't really impress me. So, a lot of times not knowing is what makes it that much more interesting, in my opinion. Yeah. So, but Westworld, like I said, there's a lot of different theories about what's going on, but that's one of them, and I think that to me kind of makes the show just a little bit more interesting.
Yeah,
I think it's really good. I'm intrigued by it, but I just think that this makes it even more interesting because now you've got a few layers that you can start peeling back when you're watching it to see if that's what's going on. There's a couple of other things that they've been pointing out. I guess the Westworld logo appears in one scene, and then in another scene it looks like updated. It looks newer.
Oh, okay.
So that could also be a hint that we're dealing with a couple different timelines in here. So it makes it interesting to me. Let me ask you guys this. Do you want a show that where you have to kind of search for Easter eggs and different types of things to really understand it? Or do you more enjoy a show that just kind of tells you what's going on?
Mindless entertainment.
I mean, in a way.
Have to pay attention to.
I didn't think about it because I totally forgot about J.J. Abrams being a part of this. Mm-hmm. And now that you brought that up, now I'm going to try to look for things.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing the last few weeks.
Because the Man in Black, you don't see him with anybody else at all. He's only with the robots.
Right. Yeah.
So he's never with any, the only person that, no, he hasn't been around anybody. So never mind. Yeah, he's only been around the robots.
And in the last episode, you saw the people that they had these black sheets or something, like robes or something that covered. But those all seem to be rogue guests or something. What were they?
No, those were the rogue hosts.
Those are hosts too.
Yeah,
but they're not. They've gone off script, right? I mean,
they not yet. They haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
At least the only person that
was part of the whole deal.
Yeah, the only person that's gone off script was that the dude that fell into that ditch or whatever, and he was trying to get out, and then slammed his head in. Yeah, and Dolores, who shot the
other host, even though and she's not programmed to kill anybody.
Right.
Pretty cool show. I like it. So I enjoy.
Yeah, and if you haven't, it's on HBO's. Sundays.
But I'm probably not going to be hardcore about trying to find all the hidden things. Well, no, I wasn't with Lost. I enjoyed some of it, but there's too much.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's
wait,
an hour episode, so it's just like
There's too many things to watch.
I guarantee you, at some point, the lottery numbers from Lost will appear somewhere
oh yeah.
in Westworld. And when they do, send us a little thing of it, and we'll give you a prize.
And it won't be money. Tell you that much.
Yeah.
So there was some hidden messages in, I guess, one of these Star Wars, like the IMAX cardboard stand-up or whatever. I think it's actually called a standee.
Oh, that's
yeah.
nice to know. I've always wondered that.
But there's the hidden messages that I guess people have found when they were looking into it.
Oh.
So if you go and you look at the Star Wars Rogue One IMAX standee, you'll see some hidden messages. Some of them, I guess there's like written in there, join the Empire,
Ooh.
submit to our will, all power to the Empire, vote for Trump, crush the rebellion in one swift stroke.
Did it say vote for Trump for real? Or you just throw that in?
I just threw that in.
Okay. I was like, what?
And Donald Trumpkin.
That would be funny, though, if it did. People would probably be like, what? This station is ultimate power in the universe, and there will be no one to stop us this time. So that's pretty cool. I like
That
it
is
when
cool.
the marketing people are creative like that.
Yeah. Good
makes-
job, Star Wars people.
Yeah.
I guess that would be Disney.
Disney, yeah.
Yeah. It probably
job,
doesn't
Disney.
make me want to see it more.
Like you're at maximum wanting to see it-ness.
Exactly.
So do you think that if this movie does well, which
It's going
it
to.
will, do you think, since this is Rogue One 3.5 Star Wars edition, do you think, will there be like a, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I think they're going to keep trying to pepper in as many of these movies as long as people are going to see them and they make money.
It's cash cow.
But I'm cool with that because right now all of these movies are all of these. We've seen one and one that hasn't been released yet, but they look like what I want them to look like. And I know the last one was what I wanted. It was a little derivative, the story, but I was like, that's fine. It's introducing that kind of tone, and the next ones will be, in my opinion, even better.
Yeah.
And so with Rogue One, I love it. I love the idea of it, and I hope they do.
I bet they will, man.
I bet they will too. I mean, we've talked about this, the Han Solo movie
Han Solo.
with Lando Calrissian is now
Childish Gambino?
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
It's good casting. Who are they getting to do Han Solo?
They haven't picked him yet. I
James
forgot.
Franco's younger brother would be a good
I think
choice.
that was one of the choices.
Davey Franco.
Oh yeah, that wouldn't be too bad probably. Zac Efron maybe.
Steve Buscemi.
Zac Efron. Come on, man. Come on.
What?
You just really want to see him.
Han Solo?
You got a little bit of a
Come
man
on.
crush, don't you?
You do want it to be Zac Efron,
No,
don't
I
you?
mean, come on though. Like I think he would do good.
You know what? He
you
kind of
would.
has that cocky swagger about
Yeah.
him. Yeah, I could see it
Yeah.
actually. So if it happens, we'll give all the credit to me though. I said it, not
You
Cameo.
said it. All right.
Yeah, no credit to Cameo.
Well, he's gonna be Wolverine, so it don't really matter.
Oh my god. Green Lantern. I could see Green Lantern.
I could see Green Lantern.
Yeah, I can see Green Lantern. That would be
totally.
a good casting choice.
Rogue One comes out December 16th, so I'm so excited.
No, it's like 2 months away.
Doctor Strange comes out next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, next Friday.
Are we gonna go?
Heck yeah, we're gonna see it.
Now, are we gonna do the Thursday or are we gonna see it on a Friday?
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
I think we should.
Yeah,
I think we should go see it on Thursday.
Yep.
we should.
Right on.
And then
Oh man.
we'll watch it on Thursday. Then we'll do a live video and tell everybody every single detail of the entire
Yes.
movie before
Yeah.
they get the chance to see it.
Yeah.
Spoilers alert.
Spoilers. Nah. We'll live tweet the movie as we're watching it. But I'm excited about Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
It's going to
be
be
a good one.
It looks cool.
So I hate doing this, but I want to go back to the Star Wars real quick.
Okay.
I saw something online that was saying that the girl who played 11 on Stranger Things would make a great young Princess Leia. And they showed the pictures of her next to Carrie Fisher. And they
Yeah.
could be onto something. That would be really cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, look
I
that
would
up
see
if
that.
you haven't seen that. Look it up on your phones or whatever.
Slap a couple cinnamon buns on the side of her head. And you're good to go.
Yeah, she's probably still too young to be in the Han Solo movie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but maybe eventually. Maybe
Yeah.
eventually we could see that.
Yeah.
Is that your frog?
Yep. Yep.
Last story I want to get to today. There's so many things that we could have talked about, but this is a big one that I thought happened in the Gotham universe. The week before last, we saw that there was like almost kiss.
Yeah, there was a very interesting moment
between Penguin and Riddler. And it was like, you could tell that they wanted you to think that that's what they were about to do. And then it was just like a bro hug.
Yeah. A little more than a bro hug. There was some...
Well, you see feelings. that hand?
There was a little gropey going on there.
So then in this last episode, it comes out. I mean, Penguin's pretty much, he's out of the closet.
Throwing himself at him, just like...
Yeah, and he's in love with Enigma.
He sure is.
Here's the thing, though. I know Robin Lord Taylor is out as a homosexual, and I knew that like last season. There was a scene where last season where his stepsister... I mean, quote, stepsister, she throws herself at him, and he gives her a look like, you're barking up the wrong tree.
I remember that, yeah.
And I remember that. I always thought that was funny, and I wondered then if they were maybe going to have Penguin be gay in this show. Now they are. And I was thinking last week when when it looked like he was going to lean in for a kiss, I was like, go for it, because they've got a lesbian couple in this show already.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with it. Now, I think the problem some people have with the comic book characters going from straight to gay or whatever is just that a lot of these characters, that was never the backstory. I think with Penguin, he's had an ambiguous enough backstory.
Absolutely.
It doesn't bother me. And it wouldn't have bothered me really if he had more of a backstory where he was not homosexual. But like I said, it doesn't. I do understand when people say I don't like them just retconning characters just so that it's the new thing
socially
to do.
Relevant.
Yeah. Right. They would rather that they just come up with new characters.
Sure.
And you can see a lot of our characters are changing. Iron Man to Ironheart. I heard a guy on a different podcast. I'll give him his props. His name is Coy, and he's on the Marvel Popcorn Talk. And he goes, I can't believe they didn't change her name to Iron Maiden.
Yes.
And I thought that would be awesome. Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden songs playing.
Yeah, because Cameo, he's way into Iron Maiden.
Yep.
So am.
Yeah, what's your favorite Iron Maiden song, Cameo?
Aces High.
It goes.
Don't bail him out, Gog.
It goes.
Rat Child.
Oh yeah.
That one. I can't think of the name of it, but I mean, it's in my head.
Oh,
it's in my head.
For sure.
That one.
Yeah.
But back on Ironheart. Did y'all hear about this? They pulled
the cover.
Yeah, the cover. Like one of the variants.
Too provocative or something.
Okay. I think it was to a point where it's like, okay, come on, guys. It's not. She's 15. Some 15-year-olds dress like that.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize she was 15.
Yeah,
but even the artist, the comic book.
That's how he draws his art. That's how he draws his women. I didn't really care to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw where people were coming from.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you this: that I have children that are, now the youngest one is almost 16. These young kids dress so different than what
terrible.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like a perverted old man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not my fault.
So, is it a representation of how people really are dressing now? Probably.
I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure he's gone out and like gone to a movie or something and saw some 15, 16, 17-year-old kids
wearing these days.
Yeah, and he was like, okay, well, if this is what they're wearing, you know what? I'm going to translate that into my comic book, Because, I mean, back in the day, I mean, the most provocative thing that somebody was wearing was what Wonder Woman was wearing.
Yeah.
Like a big old, like not a big old, but like a leotard. And that was it.
Big old leotard.
Big old fat leotard.
I mean, that was it. So, I mean, that was like the most provocative thing. And it didn't even show anything.
Right.
So it was just like, okay, well, I mean, these are the times that we live in, and this is what society has put.
Like to gripe.
Yeah.
People like to make a stink about anything.
Back to
Penguin?
Yeah, back to Penguin.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this?
I think, like you were saying, because it's been kind of ambiguous with him over the years,
right.
it's not a big deal at all.
Yeah.
I think it adds an interesting dynamic to him having that sort of feelings towards somebody. And I think, I was kind of thinking this before they even revealed that he was actually like attracted to him. You know, my thoughts were that he had lost his mother, he had lost Butch, he had lost everybody that was close to him.
Yeah.
And Nygma was there for him.
Absolutely.
More so than anybody ever has been. So, you know, that might be part of what is causing this attraction to him.
Well, also, I mean, it helps Penguin's idea of that happening because you see Ed, like, there for him. He's like, you know, I'm doing this for you. You need to see the good that's in you and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, just talking him up. And it kind of, like, if it was somebody doing that to me, I would say that would be coming off as flirtatious.
Right.
So
here's what I think. They're not gonna go down that road with Riddler and Penguin.
I feel like at some point there's going to be a falling out between the two of them, and this could be part of what's going to cause that, and would actually create a dynamic to where they might be pitted up against each other at some point.
Yeah, and I think that might, if you seen the end of the episode that just aired on Monday, then you probably already have an idea of how it's all going to turn out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the person that he runs into at the store when he's grabbing the wine. The other thing that I was curious about was, I know they, like, when he was talking to Butch in the previous episode about how he was going to take down the Penguin, he seemed pretty sincere. Like, just his performance did. So I'm wondering if he is still, like, if he's
playing everyone. Yeah. I do think that that's what's going on. I think the Riddler is, and at least, even if he's not smarter than everybody else, he believes himself to be, and that's always going to be his downfall.
Yeah.
And so
it's funny, like in this last episode when Penguin's initially going to tell him that he has feelings, like, oh, it just slipped my mind. He goes, that never happens to me.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
It's good stuff.
Well, guys, that is the show.
That's the show.
The show.
The
Except
definitive program.
We do have one more thing to add on to it. We do have an interview.
Yep.
And it ties into Gotham because it's Richard Kind who was the mayor.
Yep. Mayor Aubrey James.
And you got to talk to him. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's one of those guys, if you're listening and you're like, Richard Kind, who's that? If you see his face, you'll be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. And besides Gotham, the latest thing that he's been in, well, actually, the latest thing that he's in now is called The Linen Report, which we talked about that. If you've seen Inside Out, the Pixar movie, he plays Bing Bong.
Yeah. So definitely, like I said, you've either heard his voice, seen his face, you know Richard Kind. And he was the mayor, and he sat down and talked to cameos, so...
That's cool, man. That's cool.
All right, guys, have a great week. We'll be back in about 2 weeks. We'll have
Doctor Strange.
Stuff, Doctor Strange to talk about. So here's Richard Kind.
And we welcome Richard Kind. Richard Kind, how are you doing, sir?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I just got to tell you this. First off, my daughter loves Inside Out. And thanks to you, she sings Bing Bong all the time.
I'm glad. Did I make you cry?
Oh, you made me cry. That whole movie made me cry.
That's great.
I'm a grown man, and I cried in that movie.
I agree with you. I'm a lucky man.
So, anyways, you are you're huge. You're huge in, like, the Broadway stage, all that stuff. Tell me, how did you get into all of this?
You mean, how did I get into acting?
Yes, acting.
I turned left on 57th Street, and there I was.
Oh, okay.
I'd say. You choose to do it, and I always tell people that on their tax return, it doesn't matter if you don't make any money being an actor. If you put down actor on your tax return, you're an actor. Which you do, and that's it. It's something I love to do, and when I first started out, I did it because I wanted to be famous, maybe. And I did it because I thought I'd be a star and I'd be rich. And that lasted a very short time because nobody gets rich and nobody is famous except for a handful of people and who are stars. And that rarely happens. You better love being an actor. You better love theater. You better love it more than you like food and money.
Yeah, I have some friends that I went to college with at OU, and they're out in New York, and some of them, are doing pretty good, and the other ones, are doing like side jobs along with, little off Broadway stuff or little stage play stuff. So I mean, it's crazy.
Your sustenance is your love for what you're doing.
Yeah, the art.
If you don't love it, you better get out.
Yeah, the entertainment world is a tough business. Very tough.
Yep. Don't we know it?
Also, you're in one of my favorite shows right now, Gotham.
I'm glad.
How is it working with...
I'm not in it. I don't die in it, so I can tell you that. But I'm not in it for very long. I do a couple of episodes, and, who knows if I'll come back? I don't know. But I happen to love this show. I think it's beautifully written. The acting is beyond compare. And I think it looks great. It's really eerie and upsetting. It's a really good show.
Yeah, I love it so much. It's just the fact that it's a different take on the whole... Because I'm a comic book nerd, and
right.
It takes a whole different look on how Batman became Batman.
Right. I'm the guy who grew up on Adam West playing Batman, so this is very different.
Oh, okay. So you like the Adam West Batman? You grew up on that. Have you checked out his animated movie, The Caped Crusaders Return?
I have not.
Oh, you need to check it out.
I'm not a nerd about that.
Well, you need to check it out because everybody from the Adam West 66 Batman is all in the show. Julie Newmar, Adam West,
That's great.
Burt Ward. Yes, it's great. It's awesome. You should go check it out whenever you have free time. But I know you're busy because you have this new movie coming out, or that's already out, The Lennon Report.
It's already out. Yeah, you can get it on demand. It's in certain movie theaters. I don't think it's out your way, but you can get it on demand. It's quite an interesting movie. It's what happened in New York on the night that John Lennon was shot. And it doesn't show the assassination or the assassin. It shows the people in the hospital, the police. It shows why we learned that he had passed, why we learned from Howard Cosell an hour before the news conference came out. So there's all these interesting things and what the doctors and nurses, who they are. And at the end of the movie, the doctors and nurses are interviewed, the real people. Mm-hmm. And you get a very candid view of what they were feeling, what they look like, what was going on. It's really good.
Did you get to interview them yourselves to get a little feedback and a little bit of motivation to play your character?
A lot, and they absolutely did give me motivation. Usually if you're playing a doctor, you're going to play him very positively, and that his bedside manner is great. This guy was very cool, very cold man. When you see the scene where he's telling Mrs. Lennon that her husband passed, and he shows no compassion whatsoever. It's just, I don't want to say it's a matter of fact, but it's just, this is the facts, man. Mm-hmm. And you'll see. And in talking to them, you find out that my character has taken credit for 35 years for being the doctor on call and everything, and he wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Touched the body. So there are different things that are very cleared up that have been erroneously spoken about in the media that are being cleared up, and the record is set straight.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So were you a big John Lennon fan or the Beatles fan?
I got to say I was a Beatles fan. I didn't really appreciate John Lennon until, I think, probably years after he passed. But I grew up on the Beatles, I remember seeing them on Ed Sullivan the night that they premiered. So, yeah, it was huge.
Well, that's awesome. So let's talk about this show on Amazon called Red Oaks. Tell us a little something about that.
It's a great show, and nobody's heard of it. And it's really, really good, and you can watch it anytime. You can stream it. It's on Amazon Prime. Red, like the color red, oaks, like the oak tree. It's really, really good.
Okay, I got you. So are you going to be putting in any more of the DC films or movies or TV shows, or is Aubrey James the only character that is going to be played by you?
I wish I knew the answer. Foggiest idea at all. I have no idea, but I hope I do. I like it.
Well, awesome. Well, I'm enjoying your acting in that. I mean, I've also loved you in all the voice acting stuff that you do, like in Bugs Life, the Cars movies, Toy Story.
Thank you very much.
I love it so much. And I was just wondering, if somebody's aspiring to be a voice actor, what do you got to tell them other than, you got to love what you do?
Become good. Go do plays. become good before you become famous.
Awesome. Well, Richard Kahn, thank you so much. I am going to check out the Lennon Report because I love John Lennon. I mean, like I said, my family grew up listening to the Beatles and John Lennon and all that, and I got to go check it out, and I really thank you for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Pleasure to talk to you.
You have a good one.
There's a man.